So the ball's really useful for getting into smaller areas than perhaps the squashy Pilates ball does, and being just a little bit more pinpoint. So it's not exact, but it's a little bit more localized. So we're going to lay ourselves down and we're going to do some work around the shoulders. Okay. Some of the work you'll be familiar with because you will have done some very similar work using the Pilates squashy ball. But as I say, this can sometimes be a little bit more pinpoint. So take yourselves carefully down and just put the ball underneath the shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade, okay? Now, ordinarily, when we do this with the squashy ball, it elevates us quite a lot, and you can feel that you really do need to put your head on something. If you still feel you need to put your head on something, then do, okay? All I'm saying is that some of you won't feel the need as much as you would perhaps if you were using the squashy ball. So clearly we're being sort of pushed at an angle. That right shoulder, that right side of the chest is lifted. This possibly won't feel quite as comfortable as the squashy Pilates ball, but the rest of everything else should be the same. So the feet and the knees are in line with the hips. We're balanced through the back of the pelvis. This hasn't rotated us across the pelvis. And then take the right arm up and let the arm be heavy onto the ball. Without making any effort to touch the floor, just take the arm back and then bring the arm back up. Bring the arm forward towards the ankle and then bring the arm back up. So in that simple line, again without making any great effort to take the thumb to the floor, stay softened in the ribs, but do allow the weight of the body to really settle onto the ball. And you might be more aware as you use this ball than the squashy Pilates ball. You might be more aware of the way the muscle moves and you feel the soft tissue move. Bring the arm back up to the ceiling and then take the arm out to the side. You may or may not get the fingers to the floor and then back up, or rather the back of the hand I should say. And then without adding any further rotation, take the arm across the body and back up. So we're just taking this side to side action now. The shoulder still continues to slide down, and again you may be aware of the movement of the shoulder blade and the movement of the soft tissue differently to when we use the squashy ball. As you take the arm across the body, you're not trying to peel off the ball, but you are trying to really reach the arm out of the shoulder. And by really reaching the fingers through and across the opposite side, it does draw the shoulder blade around a little bit more. So it just starts to track around the side of the body just a touch more. And then bring it back up, and still with weight in the arm, just now move the arm around randomly, smoothly. So big figure of eights. Find your restrictions. Just play with them. Don't create any greater discomfort than you might already have. I know this is going to feel very different on my left side because I've got a little impingement in my left shoulder at the moment. So while I've got nice big range of movement on my right, I don't necessarily feel the same on my... We're going to keep the upper body nicely relaxed. We're going to take the ball and, as we always do, we're going to place it at the sacrum. Okay. So obviously when we place the squashy ball at the sacrum, okay, it covers an area. This is a lot more pinpoint. Okay, so you do want to make sure that it's right at the start of that little traveline shaped bone that disappears between your buttocks. You want to feel as always that the weight is allowed to rest down, that you're still able to establish the curvature of the low spine, and we're still just gently pressing the pubic bone forward to open up those spaces at the front edge of the body. Keep the shoulders wide, relaxed, let the arms rest at length at the side of the body. Feel that slightly engaged corset, that abdominal connection, that lift of pelvic floor, and without using the arms, so as always, shoulders relaxed, just float right knee up, right foot back down, and change. So the balance that we need as we do this is different to what we're perhaps more used to. Again, this is going to feel like it's much more pinpoint. You're only going to do this one more time on each side. Relax any effort, any hold, any tension from that upper body. Working, of course, in time with the breath. And then bring it all the way back down. And from here, just mooch on the ball. Just mooch around a little bit. And I don't know about you, but ooh, this makes me itchy. I feel like I really need to scratch my bum against a tree now. Like a bear. And then bring it back to centre, lift, take the ball away, rest down. So if you ordinarily feel like you've dropped deeply down into the floor having used the squashy ball, you're going to feel like you've just dug yourself a little hole now. Just feel like you're sitting in a hole. So pause for a moment, and as you do so, just place the ball at the very base of the skull. So the chin slightly drops down. It's off what you would recognise to be your neck, and it is right at the largest outcrop at the base of the skull. And we have this connection when we do this with the balls right down the centre of the spine, the pudendal nerve, and we go from the base of the skull right down to that point that we had the ball a moment ago, and that really connects through the spine. So we're not going to do anything here except just allow the head to rest just for a couple more breaths. And then you're going to release that, take the ball away, let the head rest back down. So pause for a moment, close your eyes, let the hands just rest, and just notice how your spine feels from base of skull all the way down to the sacrum. Notice the curve behind the back of the neck. Notice the connection to the ground through the shoulders, the back to the ribs. Notice what the curvature may be in the low spine, and notice the connection through the sacrum and the back of the pelvis. I'm hoping you feel really grounded there.